Hey everyone, it's Chef Case. Today we're going to be making apple galettes. Really simple, few ingredients, great dessert. So our apple galette today is essentially an apple pie. It's great because you don't need a pie tin or anything. You don't need to pre-bake your pie crust. But essentially, yeah, we're just going to make a dough, and we're going to make these nice little personal size. You can really fill it with whatever you have. We're going to use some apples. Yeah. We're going to get our crust started first. So it's 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So we'll get that into our bowl. Then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to fold in with our hands or a fork. We're going to fold in some butter into this. Now we have our dry ingredients mixed. We're going to fold in, so we've diced our butter, and then we're just going to work this all together. And you want your butter to be really cold, and just kind of work this into a mealy consistency, kind of like the size of like a peanut. So we're going to add 4 tablespoons of ice cold water. Really important just to keep everything as cold as you can. And then just work all that in. To be fairly dry. So definitely start with less and add more. I feel like that's there. Just that. So now we have that combined. We're going to get it out onto just a lightly floured surface. And then we're just going to kind of fold this in on itself like a third at a time. If you have a bench scraper at home, it definitely helps. So once we have our dough together, we're just going to wrap this in plastic, and we're just going to throw it in the fridge for like 20 minutes just to cool while we prep our apples and get everything else ready for our filling. So our dough is in the fridge. We're going to get started on our filling. So we're going to take 4 apples, Fiji, Granny Smith, really personal preference, and we're just going to cut these into slices, probably about 1/4 inch. And any like little random other little bits, you can also just kind of dice up too. Don't waste them. Definitely just throw it in there. It's all going to go to the same place. So we have our apple slice in a bowl. We're going to add, this is some fresh cinnamon sticks that I just grated. And personal preference again, but probably about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. To this we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. We chose to use brown sugar because it's delicious. So 2 tablespoons of sugar. A little season with some salt, always just to enhance all those flavors. Give that a mix, and we're good to go. So our dough is cooled. We're going to get this rolled out. We have a sheet tray ready here with some parchment paper. We're going to roll this out, and then we'll get it onto our sheet tray. We have our oven preheated behind us at 400 degrees. This is probably going to take about an hour depending on your oven. And okay, so we have this rolled out. It's not perfect, but we're going to make it happen. So get it on your baking dish. Then we're going to fill this with our filling. Then we're going to fold all the corners over. So we'll get some of that in there. So you're going to want to fold all these corners over. Just overlap them. Then we have another tablespoon of cold butter. And we're just going to cube this up and kind of just sprinkle it around the top of these apples just to give it a little bit more love as it bakes. Then we're going to hit it with a little drizzle of honey as well. And then we'll get this in the oven. There's the honey. Ready to go into an oven, 400 degrees, 1 hour, and we'll see what happens. So we just got it out of the oven. We let it rest for probably like 5 minutes, and this smells fantastic. The dough, the crust sets up really nice, and it's got like really nice flakiness and crispy to it. So, and then you can serve this with whipped cream or some compote or ice cream or whatever you'd like. And it's nice too because they're kind of like a little handheld dessert pizza. Pretty easy to make. Delicious. Guys, try it at home. I'll see you soon. Enjoy. Thank you.
It's a big bite. Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Hot.